across live now to Canberra, where the Federal Health Minister Dan Tehan can join us. Dan, what's your view of students from primary school right through to university taking the day off tomorrow to protest climate action?
Well, Chris, I think the best thing our students can do is either attend university or attend school and learn. If we're going to address climate change, if we're going to adapt to climate change, we're going to need all the skills that we can possibly get to do that. And as the Chief Scientist has said, we need more scientists, we need more engineers, we need more mathematicians, and these are going to be absolutely crucial skills going forward to make sure that we can have the technology here in Australia to make sure that we get the right energy mix and that we can keep our economy growing.
I suppose the key message from these climate protesters tomorrow is that we need to do more, that Australia needs to do more. Is Australia doing enough when it comes to climate action now?
Well, the government is taking this issue very seriously. We will meet our Paris commitments, and we're determined to do that. And we've met all our previous commitments as well. So we will continue to provide the leadership that's needed in this area. And
it's hurting people, though, isn't it? It's hurting people. Those commitments have hurt people with increased power prices, with additional government spending.
Well, that's why we've got to make sure that we've got the technological solutions. We've obviously seen renewables come in here in Australia, but we've got to make sure that we're just not providing intermittent power, that we can provide as well the base power that's required. And that's where we need young, bright students being able to come up with the solutions for us to be able to provide that baseload power to fit in with the renewables that have come on. And if we don't get that right, then sure, what we will see, and this is the worry in Victoria for this coming summer, is that we might see that we get blackouts and people will find that they can't get the electricity to keep their fridges running during the summer. So we do have to make sure that we're getting the balance right when it comes to dealing with climate change.
Dan Tehan, I need to ask you about the Conversation website. You'd be familiar with it. It was established initially with some government funding. It certainly is supported now by universities around the country. It's now saying that it won't publish even comments from people that it says are either climate deniers, however you define that, or climate sceptics. Aren't they breaching the fundamental conditions or basis upon what they've been established in terms of supporting academic freedom and intellectual rigour?
Well, I haven't seen that, Chris, but I would say that one of the reasons we commissioned Robert French to do the review into freedom of speech and freedom of academic inquiry in the higher education sector was for exactly this reason. We want to make sure that there is freedom of speech on university campuses, in university publications. We want to make sure that there's freedom of academic inquiry when it comes to publications produced by the higher education sector. And that Robert French has reported, we're asking all universities now to adopt the model code that he came up with, and it's something that universities should be taking incredibly seriously. It's something that the discussions that I've had with Vice Chancellors where they have said that they are and they will adopt the model code. So my hope is that we will see whether it comes to lecturers or whether it comes to publications, them adopting the rules of that model code.
It looks like they need a bit of pressure in that regard. Thanks so much for joining us, Dan.
Pleasure, Chris.